Okay, so we just got out of the theater after watching Pillion. I think that's how you say it. And quick synopsis is there's this guy. He's kind of shy, kind of quiet, doesn't have a lot of social skills, and he enters a homosexual relationship with this super good-looking, ripped, jacked, tall, handsome hunk, essentially. And you kind of see the relationship evolve into he's kind of like the submissive one, and the other guy is very dominant, but he's kind of a horrible person. The other guy is the love interest, I guess you could say. And yeah, you just kind of see how it goes. It kind of spirals out of control. But yeah, anything you guys think you'd add to that?
I would add that it is explicit and it should not be viewed with children or your parents.
Absolutely not. Do not bring your mom, your dad. Do not allow children into that theater. You will regret it immediately.
I
So
mean, I believe that it is not rated, so I don't think kids would be allowed anyways.
Very
exactly.
NSFW.
Yes. Also, this is a special guest today, Kaya. We'll welcome her to the channel. All the 5 viewers we have. So yeah. So to start off, we're gonna talk about the acting. The acting overall was really good. I thought I don't want to say it was like Oscar worthy, but some of it was really good. It was very convincing. The main guy is super awkward, doesn't have any social skills, super kind of weird, and the other guy is the exact opposite, super confident, super cocky, but has absolutely no personality. Like he's just very cold, and they everybody I thought did a really good job.
Yeah. I think they did a really good job of conveying like the one that was kind of more geeky, like he was very innocent. And I feel like it definitely portrays that he was kind of getting taken advantage of with the other person. Um yeah, I think they did a really good job of showing like the opposites attract sort of thing.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I think the actors did a really good job. I mean, it is such an uncomfortable movie, but I can tell that's what they were going for, and yeah, they did a good job conveying it.
They did what they set out to achieve.
I thought the acting was really good. Um, I think that the main guy, Handsome Hunk, didn't have to do a whole lot of acting, to be honest, because as Rem said, he didn't have a whole lot of personality. So he did just kind of have to show up and look sexy, and he did do that. So I guess maybe it was good. I thought the mom was a really good actress too in the movie.
Mhm.
She was very convincing, and I think a lot of people can relate to her watching her son be in like an abusive relationship and be like, oh my gosh, what is going on? And trying to get him to see that. So, really felt a lot of like empathy for her character and just like those feelings resonated with me in frustration as well.
Yeah, like I feel like they did a really good job of showing like she was she showed concern and just was like, "Whoa, pump the brakes. We need to know this person. Like, you barely even know him. Like, what is going on?" Like,
And yeah, that one scene, there's one scene in the movie where it gets kind of intense, the heated dialogue at the dinner table. That scene was really good because the mom, it's super, super uncomfortable. I mean, the whole movie, I cannot like overstate how uncomfortable this movie is. You're watching it, and everyone in the theater was like physically reacting to the scenes. So just know that going in. But yeah, that it was, I can tell it was intentional. And yeah, that scene was really good, super uncomfortable, along with many, many other scenes where the acting was. It was honestly, I would say it was like too good, like for a lot of it. But yeah, okay, so the one thing about this movie that it kind of centers around is the character development. So you see this main character, Colin, and Ray is the love interest, and Colin, you see him start out super innocent, like we said earlier, and then he kind of is being ordered around, kind of treated like a pet almost by the main guy. and you just kind of see him go along with it, and you're kind of like, dude, what are you doing? Like, get out of this. But he just keeps going along with it, keeps defending it, and they see, because the Ray, the guy that he's in the relationship with, is like treating him like throughout the entire thing, but then he'll like sometimes do something nice, and like he's super handsome and ripped and all that. So like he's like, ooh, like he's way out of my league. So it's kind of one of those situations, where it's, you see the character kind of change, and then later, I don't want to get into it because it's kind of the climax of the movie, but his character evolves, and I thought it was very well portrayed on screen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you said it really well. I feel like with Ray's character, like you said, he is kind of a to this Colin throughout the whole thing. Um, and like I said when we were walking out, I feel like he kind of gives breadcrumbs throughout the relationship just to kind of keep Colin hoping for something good. And I feel like it kind of portrays, unfortunately, what can happen in like an abusive relationship. And Colin's character, like it, yeah, like I said, he's pretty innocent at the beginning, and I feel like they do a good job of portraying like him going above and beyond to try to please this person, but then kind of finding a voice of his own eventually.
Just to kind of piggyback off of the abusive relationship comparison, I think it was really easy to see that Colin's insecurities made him a very vulnerable target for someone like Ray, because they knew that he didn't have a lot of self confidence and sense of self. And so he was able to sense that, and he fully took advantage of it, which is a very manipulative tactic of who do I have control over versus who do I not. And we see Colin start to take some of that control back, and that's when
Spoilers.
conflict
No,
that's when conflict arises. And it is oftentimes like most dangerous when abuse victims try to leave and push back, because the perpetrator is not used to that and they are losing their sense of control. So I think it did portray the like vulnerability and insecurities of someone who might be more likely to end up in one of those relationships. And it did feel reminiscent of semi avoidant anxious relationships and just like a manipulative abuser, which is, I think, something a lot of people resonate with. And it was, for me personally, really hard to watch on the screen, especially when it relates to experiences you've had. And you're like, oh, I don't like what I'm seeing. And this is exactly how my friends felt. So he got his power back in a not so spoiling way.
Okay,
Maybe
we need
he
to put a
didn't. Maybe
spoiler
he
alert on
didn't.
screen here.
I don't know.
No, I'm kidding. I'll put one at the beginning.
We'll put
Spoilers.
one at the beginning,
Yeah.
So yeah, feel free to talk about spoilers, I guess.
Yeah. I think that was very well said. I mean, like I said earlier too, I feel like I don't know. It's super uncomfortable to watch, but I feel like it is good to watch that per se because of the uncomfortableness, because it is just showing it right in your face like, hey, these are red flags to look for. Like, be aware of this.
Yeah, there were no holds barred in this movie. Like they just went for it, and honestly, kind of respect it. I'm not gonna lie. Good job to the filmmakers here. All right,
yeah. You
anything?
should note that it was an A24 film.
Yes, it
Oh,
was
yeah.
an A24 film, which I feel like they have a lot of like
Bangers.
range of movies, but they do have like
do.
yeah, they have a lot of bangers, but they have a big range of like genres and stuff, but they all kind of are the same style almost. And this one, it was like, it says like romance, and I don't know if it said comedy, but or drama. That's what it said, romance slash drama, which is true. But it was almost like a horror movie. Like
It was
I
my
don't know,
nightmare, yeah.
like it was very like I'd put it on like my top 10 most disturbing movies of all that I've ever seen, to be honest with you. Yeah, anything to add about that? All right.
I was scared. I was very scared and uncomfortable, and I didn't like it.
Everyone in the theater felt the same way. I could like hear the like woo, like in the background, like from the so.
Mm-hmm.
The plot is the next thing. The plot was
I
honestly
feel like
pretty
we've already kind of
surface level. Yeah,
touched it.
yeah.
Yeah.
We kind of yeah.
I
It's
agree. It
centered.
was
It's
surface level.
yeah.
Mhm.
The plot itself is surface level just because the movie is centered around the character development and the relationship evolving. But like that's basically what it is. It's just about the relationship and how it starts and then how it kind of ends and just throughout the relationship, kind of covering that whole thing. So yeah, the cinematography. What did you guys think of that?
I mean, I really enjoyed it. Of course, there were certain parts that were really uncomfortable. They did a good job of displaying that. But no, I liked a lot of the shots. I specifically really enjoyed the one where um the son and the father are in the car
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and it kind of shows them at different locations and um like you can see the dad's eyes in the rearview mirror and it shows the concern on his face and I feel like they did a good job with that.
You mind if I add something real quick that just popped into my head? Sorry, I don't want to talk over you, but the one thing I like, kind of what she was saying about the eyes and stuff. There's a lot of dialogue, but then there's also times where there's no dialogue, and that honestly kind of like speaks louder than if they were saying things, because like their facial expressions and just like the tension in the room and just how the characters are all looking, you kind of almost can like feel how they're feeling.
Yeah.
So like the lack of dialogue almost made it like it spoke more, like a picture
Mhm.
says a thousand words or whatever they say. It was kind of, they very well encapsulated that, and I thought it was very artful.
Well, and I feel like there were certain times where when there was no dialogue for a period of time, they also cut out the music. And so it was just silent. And so it was literally sitting with that
It
uncomfortableness.
adds to the uncomfortableness.
Yeah.
I didn't personally think the cinematography stood out that much. I have come to expect good cinematography as a baseline for I think particularly any big studio. And I like A24 films, so I would have been surprised if it was cinematography, honestly. So it didn't really stick out to me. I did like those shots. I agree. The audio, or like it was not dialogue heavy at all, which definitely did add to the uncomfortableness and lack of personality and I think depth. I think it was like good in some ways, but I think yeah, I think it was good in some ways, but for me in enjoyment factor, I didn't it wasn't my kind of movie.
All
It's
right.
not for everyone.
Not for everyone. Yeah. Yeah. This movie is not fun to watch. I'll put it that way. Like, but they weren't trying to make it fun to watch. Sorry, my watch alarm is going off. They did not try to make it fun to watch, and they succeeded. Yeah. So the next thing we're going to kind of talk about is the costumes and the practical effects. So, do you guys have anything to say about that?
Yes.
There's a lot to say.
Minimal costumage because there was a lot of nudity, so they didn't really need costumes. Practical effects, I think Alexander Skarsgård just uses what he has and didn't need prosthetics.
Well, I don't
So
know. There was that one shot where I was like, if that's real, this is.
yeah, yeah. I think that if he's got the practical effects to not need practical effects, let him do it, man.
Yeah. So, oh, sorry. Were you gonna say something?
There you go.
So yeah, to kind of get into a little bit of spoilers here, there's literally a shot where they show a man's penis going into another man's mouth. Like you see it. It's not like the whole thing, but it's like you can see it kind of out of the corner.
And it's
And they
got a
just
really big piercing.
yeah, and he has one of those big piercings that like go. Yeah, I don't want to get too graphic on here. I don't want to get demonetized or whatever they say, even though I haven't made any money off of YouTube. But yeah, they just like the first like it was like 5 minutes. They immediately just zoom in on this guy's like crotch. He unzips his fly and his penis just comes out, and it's just like whoa, you don't see that every day in a movie. So yeah, and then they proceed to have a very graphic scene after that, and yeah, they were obviously trying to make it very visceral and intense and uncomfortable, and they accomplished all those things. It was definitely one of those movies where they, for no pun intended, but it was a ballsy movie, and it was ballsy in many ways, but like it was very bold what they did, and they accomplished their goal, I think, with that. So yeah, like I will not. This movie will stay in your head after you. It does. It leaves the theater with you. It haunts you.
Yeah.
And sorry, one more thing, unless you want to go. And it doesn't have anything to do with like the homosexuality aspect of it. Like it's literally just like super graphic in nature. So like even if it was like a straight couple or anything like that, it would be the same. Like it's just very, very in your face and yeah, bold.
Yes.
I feel like that is
Yeah.
definitely something to add. It is not because of this relationship. If my husband came to me and said that he wanted to do some of these things, I would say, "Are you okay?" I'd be a little disturbed.
Yes, I agree. I think that I would have felt the exact same way if it was a straight couple or a lesbian couple. I just felt uncomfortable about the sexual depiction on the screen in front of me.
Especially just anytime you're in a theater, like a public setting like that, like with
I know.
other people behind us, and they're like probably in their 50s or 60s watching this, and I'm like, oh my god, like I'm just thinking if my parents were there, like it would be like the worst day of my life.
Well, and the funny thing is that Kaya's mom recommended that she go and see this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I texted her about how I was traumatized, and she was like, "Oh, but they did such a good job with the scenes."
They did, but I don't think it was
Is
supposed.
that what she's focusing on?
No.
I
No.
don't think so.
Yeah. Final thing, we need to give our final ratings. So Kaya, you first.
Well, what's the scale?
So
It's
it's
like
just
a grading
A to F. So like just grades in the school, basically.
with minuses and pluses.
Okay. I would give it a B minus because I respect the art of the film, and I did like, I think, probably what they were trying to get at, and maybe that's up for interpretation, but what I'm taking away from it I thought was definitely thought provoking. I like that. I didn't need to leave the theater, and so that was good. Didn't have to walk out. I don't think it is a movie I will watch again, and I didn't enjoy it very much. But I respect the art. I respect what they were trying to do. I thought it was well done, and so it's in the B minus C plus range for me.
I would say same thing. Probably a little closer to the B minus just because like even though it was super uncomfortable, like I can tell that's what they were going for to like make you squirm, and I don't know. I appreciate movies that are like that where it's I don't know. It's the same thing like with Evil Dead Rise. Like I
Yeah,
know it's a
yeah.
completely different genre, it's horror, but like they do body horror that makes you like have a visceral reaction, and I think
Yeah.
I was saying to them, I have never done this so many times in a film. Like just like oh my gosh.
Like you had to kind of look away at times because it
Yeah.
was so uncomfortable.
No, I thought it was good.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm gonna give it 2 grades. 1 grade on like enjoyability, which is I'd probably give it a D. To be honest with you, for like enjoyability.
No pun intended.
Yeah, well, yeah. But well, they gave us a D, I guess. But no, I'd give the for enjoyability, like the experience of watching it, I'd probably give it a D or maybe a C minus, just because it was super hard to watch. And I was like kind of checking my watch because I was like, I don't know how much more of this I can take.
I will say it. When I checked my watch, it was like an hour in, and I was like, "There's 45 minutes
Yeah.
left. How?"
Yeah.
Like I feel like a lot's happened. It was slow going for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But as far as like the art and like what they were going for and like how well done the movie was actually made, I'll probably give it a B plus for that because they really outdid themselves with a lot of things, and I could tell all of what we were feeling was incredibly intentional from the makers of the movie. So I'll give it that a B plus for that, and then for enjoyability a D, maybe a C minus. So yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else to add?
I would just like to add in realm of that, I think it was very tastefully done, right? Like it could have been very gaudy, it could have been probably not a good reflection of the queer community or particularly gay men in those scenes. So it felt like respectful. And I guess I'm a straight woman and I don't know if that's factual or not, but in my interpretation, it didn't seem super like gaudy
Mm-hmm.
or prejudice or play into any of that. It just felt very objective of like, this is just the reality of some
Mm.
people's sex and dating life.
Yeah. Actually, to add on that too, yeah, I feel like they did a good job of portraying like with their relationship specifically the dynamic that they had, even though there were other gay couples around them. Like it showed how their relationship was, but then it showed a little bit inside of the other relationships and how they were a lot healthier. And so I think they did a good job of like saying, hey, like it's just these guys, it's not all gay couples. It's like some relationships just have their hardships. So
And one thing that actually made me think of that I want to add that I thought I really appreciated about the movie is when you think of a movie, like pretty much all the movies I've seen that have a gay relationship front and center, it's usually kind of like a forbidden thing, like the family doesn't support them,
mm,
and then everyone else is kind of it like doesn't like
it's
them, so
taboo.
they have to kind of do it in secret. But in this, that's not the case at all. His family is incredibly supportive of him, and there was no like homophobia anywhere in the movie that I saw, at least. Like it
Mm-hmm.
was all like everyone kind of accepted them. So I thought that was a very
Yeah.
unique aspect of a movie like this, because I think about a movie like Brokeback Mountain or something like that, where it's like it's super like forbidden and ooh, like we can't
Yeah.
do it in
Or
public.
there's like someone that tries to fight the
Right.
couple because they're holding hands or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
And that was
they
nowhere
didn't
in this
have
movie.
that.
It
Yeah.
literally just focused on the relationship. So I thought that was an interesting and unique way to do a movie like this. So yeah.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts? All
Oh.
right. Please subscribe. I think we have 5 subscribers now. So
Woo!
I
we
subscribe.
yeah. So like the video too. I think that helps in the algorithm, and leave a comment, please. It would be awesome. So yeah. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Thank you guys.